Friday, September 26th, 2025, and these fucking women of The View. Or at least the two conservative ones. I know Anna's a Republican, but she's not a conservative. Um, Jesus Christ. They started talking about Gavin Newsom and sort of trolling Trump online. And of course, Sarah Haynes is like, oh, I don't like that. It's not nice. He's just doing it because Trump was doing it. And it's like, you know what, bitch? I don't love Gavin Newsom as a candidate for a higher office, but I love what he's doing right now. And we're allowed to have a little bit of joy and have a little bit of fun watching someone bully the bully. Like there's a relief to that, to see someone's giving it back to this asshole um in the same way that he gives it out. Like it's a little refreshing. And there's so little things that can create joy in our political moment. So, shut up. No, you're allowed to express your opinion however you want, Miss Haynes. But uh let us have some fun, for fuck's sake. And then the whole thing, she's like, I'm really off of him. He did the podcasts, and I really like Wes, where she's always over. I think she just wants to fuck Wes more. But it's just like the whole thing that she was talking, she likes Alyssa Slotkin, and it's like you're going off vibes. This is all vibes. You're not talking. You're crossing the spectrum, sort of in policy. You're literally going off vibes. Or like that one makes me feel good, and I get that's how a lot of people vote. But I don't think that's the kind of thing that we should be promoting. We should be looking at people's policies and how they have voted on legislation, and which should indicate how they will vote in the future. And Amy Farrell Griffin is so. I think that if the election were held today, still Trump would win by the same margin. Okay, if that doesn't scream, I know that the election was rigged. And I'm not really a conspiracy theorist, but here, just let's go down this rabbit hole for a hot second. Because it's just too fishy what happened in all the swing counties of all the swing states. And he has said it over and over again. They rigged the election for me. And I feel like if we go back to 2016, it probably was rigged then, because he said it over and over again in the campaign. If I don't win, it was rigged. If I don't win, it was rigged, because he knew he had it rigged for him. So if he didn't win, somehow they were able to override his rigging. That's how like, and all he is a bundle of projection. So if he's talking about they're rigging an election, he's rigging an election. So that would explain why he's so mad and still can't get over 2020, because he thought he had it rigged, and lo and behold, all those mail-in ballots, and it's just why he hates mail-in voting, and is trying to get it eliminated, because the mail-in votes were massive from COVID, and that I think that allowed more people to vote. Because it was accessible, and then they just made it harder for 2024, and it that's why there were all those voting repression laws that were suggested and came up through the states during Biden's term. So I mean, it does sort of feel like maybe there's a through line of the rigged election story. But anyway, she's going on about, yes, I agree with her in that the conservative news and media landscape is vast, and the Democratic Party doesn't participate in the same way. We don't have as much influence and sway in podcasting or involvement with the younger generations, and everything of that has to do with the fucking Democratic establishment just refusing to let go. All those old fuckers who will not let go of their little power grab, because they don't actually fundamentally want anything to change. They really don't want to be in power. They're happy to complain about these guys fucking things up, Because when they're in power, they don't actually want anything to change because they're reaping the benefit. And that's what we're sick of. That's what we're done with. And this milk toast, Sarah Haynes, like, we need something in the middle. No, we don't. The country isn't even in the middle. If you look at the things that the country is looking for, and this is why people don't like politics, and this is why people don't like Washington, this is why people don't vote, is because that whole idea that both parties are the same up until now has been kind of true. They're both just in corporate donors' pockets. So there isn't a lot to sort of hope for things getting better, for people doing better. And the Democrat establishment, that machine that's in place, is preventing that party from moving forward. Unless you're going to get the money out of politics, you need to overturn Citizens United. You need to take all of the corporate money out. And the candidates that are pledging those kinds of things, that aren't taking PAC money, those are popular candidates. And I do agree with Sarah in that if you want to be a politician, you have to really feel it, and has to, because you shouldn't need poll numbers. You shouldn't need, focus groups. You should say, these are the things that I believe. This is what I think we can do for the country, and this is how I think we can get them done. And know that, and own that, and be that. It shouldn't be separate from your own personality and your own beliefs of being like, well, what do the people want? What do they? And if you you could go out and tell them what they want and drive the narrative. But we're just at the tip of getting that. And yes, we should be concerned about whether or not we're going to have elections in 2028. The Project 2025 playbook sets us up to never have elections again. And the fact that we're in, and I don't know how we're going to make it to midterms. And even if there is somehow, by a miracle, this fair election system that then puts Democrats in charge of either chamber of Congress or both of them, those people all got to get sworn in. You think JD Vance is going to do that? Like, there are so many hurdles to getting us away from a Republican-controlled government, and we've seen how fast this can all work. So yes, it is a time to be very concerned about it. Dumb fucks. We can't all just go retreat into our sauna. Amy Alyssa Fowler Griffin, and whoever that shark was like, you have a kid, put $500 a month away, and like, who's got extra $500 a month plus kid expenses? Where, ugh, it's so fucking stupid. And the narrative that both of those women, Sarah and Alyssa, are pushing about democratic socialism is so fucking dumb. And by the way, democracy is a form of government. It's not a form of economy. But anyway, when Joy brought up, democratic socialism works in Scandinavian countries, and Alyssa goes, "Oh, Norway is the size of New Jersey. We've got more diversity. We've got more people." Honey, that's like, that just is a stronger case for democratic socialism. We have a larger base. We've got more money than anybody in the world. We can spread that. We can use that to spread prosperity. It's not handing over money to people who aren't working. That's not it. But it's making sure everyone has health care. It's making sure everyone has a place to live. And it's making sure everyone has an education, a quality education. It can be done, and it can be done here. We're the only country in the fucking world that can't provide health care. Anyway. Dumb bitches. Oh, that's not fair. I don't even remember what yesterday's show was about. I watched it, but I just didn't care. So it couldn't have been too important. Um, but you know, this whole idea that somehow um, Alyssa knows what's best for the Democrats is never not going to annoy me. And Kamala Harris's sort of apology to her and telling the Democrats what they should do. I just don't think we need to. I don't think we need the person who lost the campaign telling us how to campaign. you know, sure, she can. I didn't listen to what people wanted. Blah blah blah. My message wasn't clear enough. Blah blah blah. But you know what? You're part of the Democratic establishment. None of you are listening. We're all telling you what we want. We want you to stop taking money from corporations. We want you to work for us and show us that you can actually do it. You can fight for it. Anyway, it's just before the weekend, and I have a lot of leaf maintenance that I need to do.